Let me just get my link sent out here to my usual folk, and then we'll get right into it. On center. Alrighty. Just sent out my link. I guess I'll start the recording. Or live stream, I guess. Alright. So, welcome to the live stream, everyone. I am Goldman27, and today we're going to look at, or tonight, I guess, the time I'm recording this out, we're going to look at the new update for Gran Turismo Sport. The 1.45 update is now live. I normally go through this stuff in the menu and then I go through the VR, but to kind of save me a bit with the setup that usually occurs with streaming from VR, adapting from the non-VR menu to the VR menu, I figured I may as well start with the VR mode menu for car selection. Because that is one of the important points of this update, of course, is always the cars. So to start off with, we have 4 new cars in the top right, or top left, as you can see here. You've got the Ferrari 365 GTB4, or as everyone also knows it as the Ferrari Daytona. It's powered by a pretty potent, I believe it's a V8, I want to say, maybe V12. I can never remember what the engine is in that thing. But it's a very iconic car. Definitely saw a lot of racing heritage in the 70s. And yeah, it weighs in at 2,650 pounds there. And putting down 347 horsepower to the rear axle. So it's a pretty fast car for its time, but we'll see how it stacks up. And over to the right of that, we have the Dodge Coronet Super B. I was not expecting this car in the update, and in fact when I saw it I thought it was a Plymouth, which is not too far off the mark I guess, but the Super B from the 70s, one of the, I want to say icons of the muscle car era, but I mean I'll admit I know of the Charger RT and the Challenger RT more than this thing. But as you can see, it's putting down 335 horsepower there with a fairly substantial 380 pound curb weight there. So, it's American muscle. It's probably going to top out at 135 miles an hour is my guess. But we'll see what happens. And I believe it's also got a 4-speed manual is my guess. And over to the right of that, we have the new car. Well, new to me anyway. The Corvette Stingray Racer concept from 1959, based off the C2 chassis Corvette. It's pumping up 314 horsepower through that lovely V8. Also with a pretty light curb weight at 2,535 pounds there. So, should be a very potent race car. It's unfortunately Group X though. I don't know if this will fit in the 69 nostalgic events for the GT League. I'll get to those after the races. But the car to the right of that is the Camaro ZL1 1LE package. And for those of you who don't know, this thing is a monster on the track from what I've heard from car reviewers the world over. Putting out 649 horsepower through, I believe it's a 6.2 supercharged V8. And it is actually the heaviest car here, amazingly enough, at 3,818 pounds. So, yeah, we'll see how the output is on that. I'm expecting it to feel like a track car with some limitations, of course, but yeah, that probably rounds us out for the cars. There were some new events in the GT League as well. I'll get to those after the races, like I said earlier. There's also rain for the Tokyo Expressway tracks, but unfortunately the rain effects are not in VR, so I'll be doing those after I'm done with these cars here in VR. And after that, what else? Oh yes, there's also a new Scapes segment for, you can now have raindrops on your car in Scapes. Let me just adjust my head over here, that wander. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Scapes myself, because I like using Scapes, but there has been a lot of interesting stuff lately, and I'll be curious to see how my cars turn out with the rain effects now. But anyway, so let's jump into it. I've got myself running Tokyo Expressway South Inner Loop, I want to say. So, just in spirit of the rain track, of course, but we'll see what goes down here. It's a lovely interior. Nice wheel. But I've actually sat in this generation of Camaro before at an auto show, and it is a very nice interior, I will say that much. The one drawback, though, that it does have that people have pointed out is that the rear window is very hard to see out of. So there is that. But anyway. That's a good example. Interesting. You can hear the supercharger whine before the actual engine note. That's interesting. And I forgot how much I've ran my SLS AMG on this track. But anyway. Tire technology by Michelin. That's the other thing, too. Michelin is now the tire sponsor in this game, apparently, so I'll confess I use Michelins on my car, and they are very good handling cars. Or very good handling tires, I should say. The cars themselves, I mean, my car is very good at handling. That's because it's modified. But yeah. I'm actually curious, though. I don't have much mileage points, but oh goodness, you can definitely jump the power on this thing with the weight. Judging by the weight scale, you might be able to shut it down to 3,000, maybe sub 3,000, but anyway, we're running super softs on the ZL1 1LE package Camaro. On oops, let me adjust. On Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop. Okay, I was wrong. It's East Outer Loop. Completely off the mark there, but anyway. Adjust one more time because the trailing in this game is awful. So, let's go. Ooh. I must say, it feels weird to be in a left-hand drive car all of a sudden. Okay. Alright, it goes through the revs pretty good. What's our speed here? We're looking at 120. Yeah, this is another reason I picked this track too. You can really ring out the top speed in these things. 175 and climbing in 6th gear. 80 now. 85. We're gonna hit 200? Maybe? Oh, it's looking very close. Come on. Come on! Ah, we hit 200. And there goes the wall. Okay, so overall handling, it's very capable in super softs, of course. Woo-hoo-hoo! You can still get the tail end out if you want, though. Yeah, this is actually a very nice car. I'm kind of enjoying this, actually. very capable. Ah! He says he smacks in the wall. Yeah, that's actually really fast. Like I say, I like this actually. It's pretty good around corners, but that could also be the tires talking. You also have a gear indicator in the bottom there, which is good to have. That's cool, they actually have a lit up app screen. I was impressed. That's the actual infotainment that comes in the Camaro, very reminiscent of an iPod Touch from the third, second gen even. Yeah, funny enough, I thought I'd actually be faster that time. Clearly not by much. So, side note, it's also quite easy to understeer this muscle car, which is surprising, because you typically don't hear of understeer and muscle car in the same sentence. Unless it's, like, really wet. I thought I'd recoup my speed, but clearly my advantages have canceled each other out here. Woohoo! So what's our rev limiter hitting? Well, pretty close to 7 grand. And across the line. A lot of lights in here. We'll slow her down. Was not expecting that. Pulsing through the wheel. But anyway, let me just readjust here. Okay, so let's go over the interior. So, off the bat, a very detailed gauge pod. You have analog tach and speedometer, digital fuel gauge, voltmeter, looks like oil pressure and engine temperature gauges. And what else? You can get your gear selector in the bottom, like I mentioned, or your gear indicator rather. Not much else that I can see. And then if you look over here, you have the GM infotainment. I forget what they call this system, but I'm surprised they kept it in here, actually. And you got these very nice climate controls. These are actually really cool. You turn them left or right to adjust for the hot or cold. And you can kind of position. They're kind of like the ones in the what car is it now? The LaFerrari kind of has similar kind of vent design. Well, center anyway. The sides, I don't believe those are fixed, but you can still close them if you want. What else? It's a very nice. What's reverse look like here? Can I? Oh, okay, reverse is over there. Yeah. So if you look here, you can see it is a 6-speed shifter. I'm used to having reverse way over there, though. That's strange to me. And then you got your modes, traction control off, parking brake, your octagonal or dodecahedral cup holders. It's an interesting cut. Pretty nice armrest. You have back seats, if you want to use them. Recaro racing seats up front. Very nice. Bose sound system, of course. Pretty good rear view mirror that I can't get too close at. Visors look really detailed, actually. I'm impressed. What else? We got passenger airbag thing up top there. Interesting. But yeah, so looking around, as you can see, very minimal back window room. Probably be well advised to have a camera, which they probably have in this, obviously. Very, very tiny rear side windows there. Yeah, looks like something could fit something down there. But other than that, not much else to say. Alcantara everywhere, of course. Leather everywhere, of course. Some very finely textured Alcantara, I must say. But other than that, rev match, eh? Does nothing. Of course not. But yeah, that's funny they reuse these paddles though, because I believe you can get this with the dual clutch. I think it's dual clutch, maybe it's auto, but either way. Yeah, other than that, it's a pretty nice wheel, flat bottom, of course, Alcantara. Not much else to say. It's a very nice interior, all things considered. As far as ride goes, I've never driven one though, unfortunately. I've only sat in one. But they feel comfy, so that's always a bonus. Anyway, so my overall thoughts: handling is good. Again, probably because of the tires, but I could definitely see this being a very capable track car, obviously because it's a track package. But it's good to see, because I think there was one other car in recent history where they did a racing variant of, and it's unclassed, and it actually kind of sucks. I think that was the S2000, I want to say, actually. But anyway. So, not making any records on the board, obviously. Where does it actually stack? On its own in N700, okay. That's interesting. There aren't too many cars I have in N700, weirdly enough. But, anyway, so, on to the next weapon of choice. Working our way through Chevrolet here, let's go with the Corvette Stingray Racer concept. This will be very fun, I imagine. And I'm also going to put super soft tires on this as well, because I don't trust the handling. What was that on Sport? Oh, hey, Mr. Junior! Thank you for joining the stream. What was that on Sport Hards again? What was the handling on that? 4.6 versus 4.7. Okay, stability is not going to do much, but I'm going to throw super softs on this Corvette Racer because why not? So, let's get in on the action. Ooh. I can actually use my manual shifter for this one. Oh boy! Brakes. I'll say this much. She is fast. As I thought, 4-speed only. And what's our top out, buddy? Barely 130 miles an hour. Dang. I like the glow, though. That's a very nice glow, actually. This feels very nice. Weird placement for the mirrors, though. That's strange. That's expected. Nürburgring. You want me to race this on Nürburgring? I mean, I was kind of racing on Tokyo in preamble to the rain track. Dang, this was really nice. Woohoo! Why? Why the Nürburgring, man? What's wrong with Tokyo? I'm just getting a bit of experience in. Holy! Oh! Ah! Yeah, capable as he wipes out. Let's see. Okay. Why am I... Come on. What's wrong with my pedal box? There we go. Okay. Trying to find reverse now. Where is reverse? There we go. Freaking. Man, oh man. There we go. My goodness. I don't have this much issue with my manual gearbox earlier. Come on. Ooh. Whoa! I intend to. Man, oh man. Even on Super Softs, Capable Racer is a, that's a very generous term for a car that I've already spun out in twice. I'm pretty sure even my vehicle settings are still the same from when I last had this on. Full disclaimer, I do use some assists. Let's see. Aren't on the Nords. Even if I was on the Nords, I think I'd wipe out in this thing a lot more than if I were on any other track. The other thing I have going for me too is Tokyo's a pretty wide track in comparison to the Nordschleife. But man, that's bright. I mean, like, this is running super soft. You know, it should be pretty grippy, but still. Gonna try this last lap around Tokyo. After this, I'll do 2 laps with the Coronet, and I'll do 2 laps with the Daytona, and then I'll throw it on the Nordschleife if you want. Or otherwise, I'm just going to show off the wet layouts, probably, so. There we go. Okay, I think my problem is I may have traction control off, or vehicle stability, one of the two. But as you can see, I'm adapting very nicely. Look at that. Beautiful time. Well, maybe not stellar, but still. Okay, after adjusting my skill set, I will concede this is actually a pretty capable car. Kind of a shame it's Group X, but hey, if this thing can go against the 79 or 69 Nostalgic... Oh, and I forgot to check over the interior. Crap. Well. Well. I mean, it was pretty bare bones, if I'm honest with myself. It had leather seats, it had a nice wood wheel. There's not much else to really say, I guess. But it was very nice. It was very nice. Very nice car. I mean, if you want, I can run the next two on the Nordschleife. Actually, what the heck? Actually... Yeah, I'm gonna run the next two on the Nordschleife. I feel more certain in my abilities with the Daytona than I do with the Stingray, though. Or even the Coronet, for that matter. That's just gonna be... That's gonna be an experience on the Nordschleife. Just readjusting. Mm. Mm. Nice. That is a very nice sound. Racing super softs. Alright. Let's give this car a nice run around the Nordschleife. Okay. Not bad. Whoa! Oh, come on. Yeah, I think I've definitely thrown one of my assists out the window here. Very nice interior, though. Oh, it does have fifth gear. I was skeptical at first. Whoa! Come on. Come on. There we go. And I lied install it. that didn't sound right. Okay, so overall, I will say this is definitely a fun car. Definitely sounds Ferrari. Handling's not too bad. I mean, it's a 70s Italian exotic. What more can you really expect from the time? Suspension feels firm, but sort of 70s soft. If you've driven the Countach, you know what I mean. You definitely see the travel. It definitely looks a bit lofty in some areas, but again, to be expected from 70s exotics. I mean, to be fair, this is supposed to be an Italian Grand Tour of sorts. Whoa, boy! I wasn't looking where I was going. Oh, boy. Nope. Crap. Come on. Clearly, I don't know how to handle those kind of situations. Let's see. Wiped out in this neck of the woods many times before. Oh, managed to control that one. Woo boy! You know, the only thing, it could be my counter steer assist is completely off. So normally I have that on. Of course, I could just be running with straight assists off. Aside from ABS, maybe. Come on. There we go. Are you still there, Mr. Junior? Have you left the stream? Genuinely curious. I think my ABS is on. Traction control doesn't quite feel like it's on. Or if it is, it's on a very low setting. Okay, it's definitely starting to get the hang of this. That is a horrendous lap time, considering the white boots I had. Let's... I actually thought I'd spin out real hard over that. Okay, let's get into some lighting here. I never remember where the light hits. Probably around here, I think. So we will put in first and kill. Break in. Actually. There we go. Alright, so let's look around the interior here. So we have a, what does that say? Prototipo wheel from Ferrari, of course. A very limited view box. Trunk space in the back. Very visible rear hatch, actually. Some nice seats. Very good sized parking brake. Looks like a restraint for your seatbelt there. 5-speed gated shifter. It's very nice. Radio is side mounted in the physical console. That is interesting. Ashtray, cigarette lighter, window controls. Oh, I can't quite tell what's on the bottom of that. Unless maybe this is radio and that's like an 8-track or something. Again, I can't quite tell because the stupid view box is too small in this. In any case, we have a very huge gauge cluster. From what I can see here, we have our oil pressure, engine temp, looks like engine oil temperature as well, and can't quite tell what some of these gauges are. One of them is probably the fuel gauge. That's a clock. I think there's probably a voltmeter as well, aside from our tach and speedometer, of course. But okay, good to know. So 7800 is our red line there, but it can hit the $8,000 limiter. So, other than that, very tiny mirror, I should say. There's no passenger side mirror because that wasn't a thing when this car was made. What else? Decent rearview mirror there. Visors look fairly well textured, from what I can tell. Dome light's all the way back there, I just noticed. That's interesting. What else? There's not much else to say. It's a pretty Spartan interior once you get around to what's actually in here. But, other than that, yeah. It looks pretty nice, all things considered. And then, in the inside, I mean, it's basic, but what are you gonna do, right? So, anyway. Let's, check out... You know what? Just to make more faithful, I'm actually gonna race the Corvette Stingray Racer around the Nordschleife. Before I do, what assist do I have off? Huh! Okay, I was right. I have both of them off. Gotta kick those on, because I have the worst driving experience with those off. Traction control set to 3. That's how I like it. Okay, let's run the Stingray Racer. And also so I can review the interior a little bit. Alright. Let's see. Ooh, that was fourth. Almost cut. Okay, I'll admit, there is a nice aroma to driving a race car with the top down on the Nordschleife. Okay, this does feel pretty fun, actually. I'm not quite a fan of where the mirrors are positioned, if I'm honest with myself. Man, this is pretty fun. I didn't shift soon enough. Woohoo! That felt fun. Interesting. Come on. Missed shift. No! What the heck? Oh, tell me it's doing this on me again. It's doing it to me again. So for those who don't know, my shifter has a tendency to every once in a while act up in such a way where it becomes the clutch pedals unrecognized, so when I go for a shift it counts as a miss shift. And from what I've seen from other previous owners, or I guess current, depending on your relativity, I guess, I've seen other drivers with the G29 in sport in particular, and other games even. I can't quite handle that corner all that well, eh? But I've seen other drivers in sport where they do actually have the same problem. They tend to miss shift. It's not a fault of the driver, it's a fault of something with the wheel setup itself. else is this. I keep saying this is very fun, and it actually genuinely is, because it's an open-top car. You've got trees all around you. I mean, it's a cloudy sky, but that's to be expected because I like cloudiness. But it's also nothing quite like the sound of an old school V8 just rumbling. I have to find, of all the sports cars out there, of all the performance cars, what they say is true. There's no sound more threatening in the car industry than the low burbling rumble of a big, meaty V8. I mean, I'll confess, for a similar note, it does sound nice, but there are some V8s where if you tune them just right, they just sound amazing. Some of them just sound great from the factory. And here we wait. 205 kilometers an hour, or barely, probably 128, maybe 127 miles an hour. Down the long straight of the Nordschleife. What's this say here? Fasten seatbelts. Alright then. I actually thought that meant something else. I was kind of surprised that it says fasten seatbelts. Looks like someone just put that tape on there. Fasten seatbelts, like, okay. I mean, I don't expect to drive this without a belt or some sort of safety harness, but alright. I guess maybe they had someone not drive with a belt. Ta-da! Look at that. Final mischief. We have completed the Nordschleife in the Chevy Corvette Stingray Racer concept from '59. Put parking brake in. Okay. So, we just... There we go. So, as we can look around, we have a very wide open canopy. Very nice. Interesting little rivets around the door here. I'm not sure what those are for. What else? Very Spartan interior is what I can honestly say off the bat. Does it say Corvette in the gauge pod? I think it does. If it does, that's pretty cool actually. This is something else there maybe. Anyway, you got your turnkey ignition, you've got your water temp, oil pressure, some switches, your tachometer, your speedometer. Where did your hand come from there, buddy? That genuinely says fasten seatbelts. I don't know why. Then we have this thing. I believe that's a fire extinguisher. That's pretty cool, actually. That's really cool. Spartan doors, because really all you need is the pull handle and a latch. You don't need much else. Lap belts, as to be expected. Guy waving me off saying, caution. Let's get intake in the back? Yeah, that's for downforce. Other than that, one headrest for the driver, because if you have a passenger here, odds are you're not racing with them in it. What else? Very shiny inside. Nice seats. I mean, it's a concept race car. What more can you really say? Rear view mirror is expected as to where it would have been anyway. That's how most of them were. The fender mirrors, I'm not too... Fender mirrors. The side mirrors, I'm not too keen on the positioning just because I can barely see that one as is. And this one's really high up, which kind of warps my perception just a little bit. So, overall, I probably wouldn't be racing this thing in this view. Probably third person if I were racing it. Because you can't race in VR unless it's with a weak AI. So, Anyway, that pretty well covers the interior overview of the Corvette Stingray Racer, so let's back out of this car and go on to the final pièce de résistance. The Super B. And this is going to be a boat to drive, so I'm going to slap on some Super Softs. And here we go. Okay. Woo! Yeah, that's for sure. This is a boat. I mean, if you ever want a land yacht, you know, you buy a typical luxury car. But if you want a land boat, muscle cars from the classic American muscle era, or even some of the modern day stuff like the Challenger and Charger, them's be your muscle boats. Is there a fifth? No, of course not. It's a late 60s America. There's nothing with a 5-speed yet. Not until the 80s. So top out's 200. Dang, this is weak. I don't even know what that is in miles, but it's definitely somewhere around 100, 110 maybe? By the case, that does not instill confidence in any sort. The only confidence it instills in me is the fact that this is kind of capable for a boat. Man, I'd love to pump this thing up to somewhere around 475 horsepower, max out the ratios to 150, maybe even 180. Just let her loose. Actually, I'm 200. That's somewhere close to 120 miles an hour, I believe. Or over it, maybe. I think the one thing, though, that I hate about American muscle cars, much as I love the V8 sound, that red line is just not doing it for me. I think the top out, and this is somewhere around 45 to 5 grand maybe. But then again, this is what passed for performance in North America in the late 60s, early 70s. It is kind of affable though, that second gear you're already topping out to 60 miles an hour. Well, it actually held the line that time. Oh, spoke too soon. Ah. Shift in third gear. One thing that just occurred to me though, as you see, in this era of the muscle car era, a lot of those vehicles had drum brakes. And if this were in real life, oh boy, I'd be having some massive brake fade right about now. Because I don't think even disc brakes were on these things at that point. Maybe fronts, maybe. But either way, even if there were disc brakes on this, the tech just wasn't quite there for them yet. At least nowhere near where the tech is now for brakes. It's actually one of the things that I'm kind of glad isn't really touched upon much in racing sims is brake fade, because oh boy, when you have brake fade, it is noticeable. I mean, I think the more bigger sims like Project Cars 2 and maybe Assetto Corsa and iRacing probably deal in brake fade, but I haven't noticed any brake fade in GT Sport. Now we begin our long, let's see, 721. How long is it going to take for us to get to the other end of the straight at 196 kilometers an hour? Okay, so we got there in about roughly 45 to 50 seconds. Which may not seem like much in real time, but in race time, boy, that's a long stretch of road you just raced. Okay, neutral. There we go. Alright. Let's see where we're at. Readjust. Okay. So, looking around the interior, it is muscle car. Big interior, a lot of glass. I almost feel a bit short actually in this thing. It makes me feel tiny. Huge back windows, massive seats. You could totally fit a family of 4 in this, no problem. Pretty decent doors from what I can see. The black kind of kills everything. What else? We have a tachometer, a clock within the tachometer. That's a new one. Speedometer. Looks like your voltmeter, your oil pressure. your water temp, engine temp. Some switches there that I can't quite make out because the view box is only so big. I didn't realize where that shifter is. Let's see that now. Okay. Huh. Not gonna lie, I actually kind of like that. That's an interesting shifter. And it is It is something. I can't quite make out what it says. I still can't quite make out what it is. Maybe a B&M shifter? I can't quite make out what the etchings say. Oh, Hurst. That's what it is. Hurst shifter just occurred to me. It's read sideways, which is weird for script on this kind of thing. But anyway, you got your lap belts because lap belts. You have very good position side mirror because there's no side mirrors. Again, not regulatory in that era. Glove box on the side looks like. I don't see any vents that just occurred to me. Let's see, can I get some better lighting here maybe? Go down here. I'm gonna get some better lighting. Maybe? Maybe not. I have to drive it for lighting. I'm just using my pals because I'm lazy. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Break in. Okay, yeah, so you can see a glove box, and a dash pouch, I guess? Another light in the bottom there. But other than that, I don't see any vents, actually. I see portholes there. Maybe those are the vents on the side. Oh yeah, I guess the vents would be in the center stack. Looks like you have a very large center console storage box. Yeah, other than that, not much else. It's American muscle and hardwood trim. It's genuine too, I guarantee it. Let's see. $45, right? No. $55. Thought it'd be something low. Anyway. So that covers the cars in VR. So now I'm gonna head out of VR to show you the rest of the features, like I said I was gonna do earlier. What have you granted me, oh mighty random car draw? Oh look, it's only another Renault RS01 GT3. Seriously, never get anything good. But anyway, so, before we get to the wet tracks, I'm going to show you what's new in the campaigns. As soon as it's done saving. There we go. So we've got 2 new events in Stars and Stripes. We have on Tokyo Expressway Loop, and we have Willow Springs International Raceway Streets of Willow Springs, which is one of the layouts I personally hate. And then next up in the Amateur League, we have 2 new events in the Group 3 Cup, Tokyo Expressway again, and Suzuka Circuit. And come up in Professional League, we have La Festa Cavallino, 2 new events, Sardenga Layout A, and Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop. And finishing it in the Endurance Series, the Group 1 Prototype Endurance Series, we have Kyoto Driving Park, Yamagawa, and Miyabi. 30 laps, with 4-time fuel consumption and 7-time tire wear. Still haven't done these races because time. But anyway, that rounds off the GT League events. Let's go into Escapes to show you Some cool stuff. Raindrops. So as you can see, you can have raindrops on your cars in certain scenes. Oh, you can see faint raindrops on that. But yeah, some cars and settings it looks a bit more noticeable than others, but as you can see, it looks very nice. I think it's limited to just these 12. I don't know yet. I'll probably check in on it off stream. But anyway, so let's run around in the wet on Tokyo Expressway. Let's do the East Outer in the rain. You can do the night in the rain. Oh, it's even better. Oh, yes. Actually, I'm going to do a race. I'm going to do a race in the rain. I'm going to do a single race in the rain. Just to show off. Oh, at night. Oh. It's going to be so nice. Okay, so, what car should I run with? I'm going to run with my Group 1 Sober C9, because why not? Actually, no, that's false. I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use... something with a top on it, at least. Let's use my SLS, actually. Run Professional tier, of course. At this point, I would have taken my headset off, but unfortunately my mic is connected to the headset, so I'm forced to keep the headset on with the mic on. But yeah, this is my personally designed Sober C9 Tribute livery on my AMG GT3. Because, oh man, that V8 sound. That looks so nice. Just occurred to me. Before we start, just occurred to me. Heavy wets. Let's go, boy. There we have it, the rain. Oh, it's beautiful. Excuse me, coming through. Ah! No! Crap. I'll confess though, I've never actually raced with heavy wets before. So this is a whole new experience to me. This is quite fun, actually. Okay, understeering and rear-wheel drive, I expect it to be in the rain. Also feels weird though because I am using my VR headset to drive in non-VR. For those dimmer twins. So fun. Looks so cool to see all the wet rain. I think he's closing in actually. He is. Slightly. That's something I'm not used to seeing though, is when I corner in the rain, it actually hinders my engine performance just a little bit. Shoot, he's close. No! I will get you! I will be superior! Ta-da! I won! Okay, that was pretty cool. May as well change it out to say... what should I run? Yeah, let's be savage. I'm gonna run a freaking topless race car in the rain. Change conditions. We'll run it In the noon. This is going to be interesting, to be fair, because it's a Group X race, so there'll be something, right? Oh, it looks so good. This top speed is gonna kill me, though, I just realized. The other thing that also might kill me is the racing super softs. That also just occurred to me. Downforce. Ah! Not my name. Oh man, you can totally see how wet it is. Oh. Whoa! No. it's so easy to just slip and slide on this. Even in heavy wet tires, man. It's almost like driving on ice, except you actually have some semblance of control, even if it's very minimal. Dang it, he's following my slipstream. He knows. Man, oh man. I forgot how weird Group X races were in single place, because it's just everyone has the same car, the same spec, because you typically can't tune Group X cars. Well, the VGTs anyway. Better line that tire around that corner. Barely kept that lead around the corner. It's still just awesome to see those cars fly. And ta-da! Won it! That was close though, by 0.5 of a second. Oh, that was pretty fun actually. Kinda enjoyed that. Anyway. Well, that pretty well covers all of the content. Replay. Say replay. Yes. I'll save that for later. But anyway, thank you for joining the live stream. If you guys liked it, give it a like, you know. If you guys have any thoughts on it, post a comment. And if you want more of this stuff, hit subscribe, because I put this stuff out. I used to do it pretty regularly, but I've recently been with a job, so it's been a bit hard to get stuff out. It's usually been a monthly thing now, so... But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. So, bye-bye.